They're gonna come in, take in the red buff, run away, hold up.
Without any cost?
They want a little bit more. I love this from Chongqing Wolf. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's gonna be striking. He's gonna have eyes on them. He's gonna have to force them away. Love the way that Chongqing Wolf initiated his first 1 minute.
I mean,
instead of just going in and going with the normal laning, they come in and take that red buff. That's gonna be really painful for Zoe.
I feel like the early game setting is well prepared, as we can see on the side of Wolves. And also the aggressiveness, they are known for their aggressiveness.
Nothing that Sakura can do over there.
Yeah.
There could be one right over here.
It's only Lubu.
Sadly for that Lubu, it's a little bit too much to take on.
Yeah, especially his play against this Byron. Byron is one of the most powerful laning hero in this patch.
Look at that. Very tough as well. He's going to be on that side for Track. Track on the channel, he's going to be focused on. Like we know as you mentioned, Sheng on the Kano. He's going to be rotating a lot, trying to put some pressure around.
Yeah.
So can Pang be quick enough? Can he really be on his boots and then just be running around so he can actually make numbers for his teammates?
And that depends on the numbers of people who's gonna helping him to clean up all the jungles, because as we can see, several people play around Zoe and trying to just accelerate his forcing pace.
That is an important technique that these professional teams have.
Yeah.
That they really need to be taken onto account. Look at that, they're gonna take that red buff. Oh, but look at that, the movement, he comes in, triple mortals comes in, is gonna take the target, and we thought that he had the advantage, and it's gonna be Wolf that's gonna take the first blood.
I do like the combination down by Juan and also Juan. It is really, really good. And you know, actually these two players, they made their debut the same day, the same match.
The same day, the same match.
Yeah, so the synergy between these two people are very, very close.
They already have that. They already have that destiny, right? Some things are just written on the stars, someone would say.
So actually, you can see the combo that Juan and Juan made is very, very accurate and just still that insta kill upon round.
We come into 3 minutes and 30 seconds of this game. Already a 1,000 goal. Little advantage for the Wolves on the red side.
Yes.
One more time, he's dealing so much damage. Shai's gonna have to jump his way out of that activity. He cannot fall right now, right? Because Shai's ultimate is going to be the key for all gamers to be able to fight for this tyrant.
And the reason why Shai is carrying this smite, which is not that normal as a support, is because AG, they're trying to gain more neutral objectives.
And they know that if they have the neutral objectives in the early game, they will be able to stop and finish the game early. Like they don't want to go after 15 minutes. The late game is bad news for AG.
Yeah.
They know it and they need to try to find a way around it.
And the reason why they can't find the door open for them is because the early invasion, the red buff that Wolf did.
Zoe, one more time, taking all the gold around. Already Axe of Torment, as you can see in there, 3,600 gold for him. On the other side, the Ogre doing exactly the same in terms of gold. They are really trying their best to just speed things up.
They're racing on this speed that they can get, clean up all those jungles. It's a race.
Movement around, rotation into the blue area. They're trying to find anything, whatever that they can have. Rand, he has eyes on them. They're just going to trade turrets. They do not want to engage at this moment.
Red team has destroyed a turret.
Went very good for both teams, and actually it's quite even game. Speaking to the current image, because they are trading their towers. Wolves take the one on the top lane, and AG just take the one at the bottom.
This is good news for Wolves, right? As time passes, they get more gold, they get more advantage. And right over their Track, very slowly, but very consistently just building more and more gold.
Yeah.
Already a 4,000 gold channel.
I mean, like, the only thing that Wolves needs to worry about in the mid game is they need to keep distance away from Shen, this Hano.
Loved the way that they communicated. They came in, they saw the target, and they sent him home. They just completely packed him in there.
Yeah.
Red team has destroyed a turret.
That's the one thing that you can get from Hano. His ulti.
Did you see that? That was lovely to see. Lovely to observe. Oh, look at that. 1v1. The Team Eternal is going to save his life.
That was very close. But as you can see, the damage already went very decently for this Nakaruru.
Yes, exactly like the Nakaruru over here. Already with the damage being online. I love Nakaruru on the 1v1s because can immediately just burst out one of your back laners.
Yeah.
If your backline is not really on their toes, it's going to be really tough for them. Look at that, the 3 Gods Assembly comes in, finds a target, but they are able to run around. Not enough damage at this moment.
On the side of Wolves. But as for AG, they are reaching their power spike, actually. But the problem is that how they're gonna initiate, I mean, Shuai matters a lot because his ulti is ready. Oh, here he is. But didn't attach. It's not connecting.
Not connecting at the moment. Wolves might have a little bit of the advantage right now, but they have nothing that they can do. Like that gold advantage for them, it's not enough.
Oh,
Look at
another
that.
ambush.
Zoe and Ino, they have eyes on the red buff. Ogren comes in. He does not have eyes on them. He's able to clean up onto that one. Look at Channel.
Oh.
So aggressive. I love the way that they are playing in right now.
And another ambush, another ambush.
Zoe comes in. He's going to be able to take a 2 against 1. And it's going to be Pound, the one that is going to fall. That is going to be really painful for Wolves.
It's the second try down by Zoe. The first one, if I'm not enough to do the burst out damage, I'm gonna call my brother.
A 2v1 over there for Punk was bad news for him. It was a very, very horrible picture for him to see as he jumped into that rush.
Yeah. He actually didn't predict that might be an ambush in his own red buff area.
And that has been the strategy from all gamers the whole day, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just kind of like just waiting in there to see if they can find your jungling path. If they're able to read the jungling path and they're able to just wait in the brush, the Nakaruru is the best hero to deal that burst damage.
That's true, and since you can see Zoe sharing the highest gold right now in the board, they are definitely at their power spike on the side of AG. They're aiming for this 10 minutes dragon.
Aiming for that right now, Zoe building up the items necessary to be the kind of jungler that he wants to be.
Yeah. Shuai finding his position is his own trick. Sneak into the grass. But he's returned. Trying to protect him more. Because AG, they do need some poking damage preset before the engagement. That is going to be dealt by Shen, this Hano.
Yeah. I can see that both teams right now, they do not want to force anything up until the 10 minutes mark.
Yeah.
Already just being extremely careful with their movements. They might have the vision, but they are not throwing the punches yet.
And since all gamers are doing the 4-1 push, they need to wait for the Zoe, which the Siege Breaker is made.
So a Siege Breaker is going to be bad news because right now that item allows you to deal even more burst damage. Brand is going to be taken in here. It's going to be a 4 against 1. He throws his ulti to run away. Shuai comes in. The unrivaled outburst push forward. Mentors back.
I feel like AG is going to be a dragon trade. I mean, Wolves, it's very smart for them actually, trying to figure out where Ren is. They know that there might be some ambush, and right now at the mid lane, they force out the ulti that Hano had. The burst out damage coming out. Everything just went suddenly so positive on the side of Wolves.
They
were playing in such smart way, and you can see Wolves, they're not rushing into something. They're waiting.
They don't have to rush. There is no need for them to rush at all.
Yeah.
Like, they have the composition for this time just to keep ticking. Let the time tick. It's totally fine. We are fine with that. Spike Mail is going to be Zoe's next item. And right now, that Nakaruru with 9,600 is not someone that you want to find on a 1v1.
Yeah, so definitely instead of doing 4-1 push, Wolves, they need to gather together. They need to move as a group. Sakura, single,
One
he's
more
spotted
time.
by this Nakaruru.
He still has his ult. He's gonna have to use the triple mortals to run away. That item, that ulti is gonna go into cooldown, and that's gonna be very painful for him.
So that also might be the chance that AG is looking for, because Shy, his ulti is already.
Do they want to force it right now over here to try to take that mid lane tier 3 turret? That turret in there is going to allow them so much more vision. They do not want to try to jump into that, but look at where Zoe is standing again and again and again. Because he needs to figure out what is going on. One has the vision advantage on one side, right? With the Kong Kong R, he can just use his clones to go around and try to give vision. For Shuai, he's gonna have to be using always in active.
And the way how they're gonna initiate is different. They need some snap engagement down by Wolves.
Look at that, they come in and they were able to steal that red buff. That red buff is going to go
Zoe.
to pop.
Zoe again.
Where is that Zoe? Look at that.
Oh.
Waiting over there in the brush. He does not want any of that smoke. Hold up. They found him. He's gonna have to run away.
Wolves, they are so careful. They just test every grass that they're gonna stab in.
Let's analyze the channel right now. Already 4 items for that channel. He is already on the way to build the last one. The Wolves come in, trying to push into the red buff jungle. They find no one in there. But look at Artie coming in from the flank. He's got eyes on them, but he doesn't want to jump yet. Everyone is just on this kind of like a dance.
Yeah.
It's just that dance about moving forward, moving back, trying to find out the moment where someone is going to make a little mistake.
And I mean, the initiator on both teams are different. On the side of Wolves, we need to pay more attention on one. That's Kung Kung. He's the only initiator on the side of Wolves.
But his initiation, the AoE coming in from his ulti,
Yeah.
it's just so big.
Yes.
The area of effect in there, it's so big that initiating from him, it's going to be a beautiful skill.
And on the side of AG, we should pay more attention on Shuai. His ulti is already again.
Let's wait and see. The Tyrant is already coming into the half of it. The
Ooh.
Red Albert is going to be the triple mortal, but it's going to be Zoe, the one that is going to claim it. He uses his backbone. He's going to run away. Shang is going to fall on one side, but he's going to track the one that is going to be taken, and Ram is going to fall as well.
I mean, AG, they sacrificed 2 people trying to gain that Tyrant. But the problem is that with 5 men gathering together, Wolves, they don't care about the Tyrant. They want the victory.
They won the victory. They claim the turret. What is going on? The minion wave comes in. They have the power spike. They have the power play. They might be able to take this
And
once
it's the
again.
triple.
Look at that. They jump. And it's going to be for them. Yes, this time it is going to be. Look at that. They come in. He's taking one more. The minions are coming. It is for Chonchi Wolves.
1-1 at the beginning of the final in KPL Grand Final. Even it up.
Wow! What a display! They came in, they lost the Tyrant, but they won the game.
Yes.
I would love that phrase every single day.
Because the ultimate goal for you is take that crystal down, actually. So on the side of Wolves, it is very, very tricky, and I do need to admit that it's very difficult for them to execute composition like that, because as a team known for their aggressiveness, but you need to hold back. You need to calm down. You need to be the one, wait for the chance.
I know that AG wanted them to take the channel. Can They had something over there in the back burner. They had a strategy, but it did not matter. They came in, it did not matter. They came in, and then it was just so decisive. In the moment that they come, they lose the Tyrant, and they showed us what they learned from their opponents. What has AG done in this whole KPL 2025 Grand Finals? As they lose the Tyrant, they immediately go for the turrets.
Yes.
And here was just that same recipe, but coming in from Chongqing Wolves. They come, they lose the Tyrant, but immediately just turn around, go to the middle, and push all the way to the Crystal. This time they did not make the mistake of trying to get the heroes. This time they knew that they just wanted to take the goal.
Decisiveness is definitely the key to game 2. And also, I feel like the reason why AG, they kind of lost control, they are used to do a lot of trades, right?
Yeah.
But this time, they give up to do the dragon trades is only because they feel like they are at their power spike. They know that they can actually handle the engagement. But the problem is, you can see the combo down by Juan and Juan again.
Yes.
It's just being so scary. The damage burst out, and they found out where Ran is. They just take their enemy down one by one.
I feel like in this game, AG comes in with a very clear strat. They come, they want to force the BP to go their way.
Yeah.
It goes their way, and it was actually working out. You could actually see the Heino just really doing very well on the farm lane at the beginning of the whole game.
Yeah.
The problem about this is that we move into the fights over there with the Tyrant, and then things just don't click.
Yeah.
And they do not click not because of AG mistake, they actually don't click because of a Wolves advantage in there. When you analyze the way that Zoe was playing, amazing. Just an amazing way how to play that assassin. It's the way that you want to be playing the Nakoruru. Just waiting in the brush just to try to find onto someone. It was just the option of one from that Kong R that just did not allow Zoe that much.
Yes.
It was one opportunity over there just to show how that Kong R can deal so much vision, can give so much information for your teams.
And also the control ability that Kokora has is unparalleled, I would say.
Yes.
Yes, because you can do a lot of snap engagement without any cost. And I do want to appreciate the early setting that Wolves did. It's really, I would say, unexpected. Because it is not easy for you to get that kind of early invasion before 4 minutes. Because the jungle is under the protection, and it's very, very risky. There's only 2 members on the side of Wolf.
Let's just paint the picture. If things would have worked over there in that whole invasion, imagine what would have happened if they just lost the game. They come in, they try to go for the red buff, and they die. 3 of them right over there just trying to get the jungle.
Whoa.
3 of them just died. This would have been a completely different game for sure.
Yes, I mean, like, if they failed from that early invasion,
Yeah.
the game's over, to be honest. Because we know that the power spike on the side of AG is earlier than Wolves. But as such a late game composition makes such a early invasion, that's a typical Wolves playstyle, I would say.
I think that AG was not expecting none of that.
Yeah.
AG was really just thinking that this was going to be a calm, kind of like farming and
Yeah.
playing against Clash Lane.
Go with me. Yeah.
Nah, they just came in. It's just that same thing when you just try to look for your wallet and your wallet is not there no more. I think that AG is feeling like that right now.
That's painful. That's painful, to be honest. But as we're looking at the chart, we I would say track doing really good. The damage taken and also the damage dealt is pretty high.
That Lupu. I love the way that the Lupu was played. Because the way that he does not fall over there, like we knew that the Byron had the advantage over there, and maybe that would have been a good way for AG just to try to find an opening, just try to focus a little bit more on that advantage that they had with Byron over the Lupu.
Yeah.
Maybe the rotations needed to be going that way instead of coming down to the
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And also, the thing that Wolves did is that they made a faster rotation than AG and just, gain with the first blood.
But the MVP for this game is going to be the one and only, the light of hope over there for Chongqing Wolves, Track. Track is going to be taking that Acadia of Q0 and 2. The man with the kill, but the man with not a champion trophy yet.
Yes. And he actually suffered a lot in this year, but when he made his comeback in this KPL Grand Final, he just been so surprisingly good. Everyone just appreciate his performance in the arena.
Right? It's just, for me, it's just that. Just look at the positioning for him. He's just waiting outside of the fight. He knows that he doesn't need to jump in yet. Then he finds a target, and then he's just dealing damage. He might not be actually right now just taking on the kills, but just the poking going on in there.
Yeah.
Comes in, he still has his leader stance in there.
He's keeping a really safe range away all of those enemies that he's facing against. And that's the reason why this man is having the highest KDA among all of other players.
Such a beautiful performance and such an energetic victory. It's going to energize Chongqing Wolves right now. Coming in after that, did you see the way that he just celebrated? Did you see the way that he just celebrated? I wouldn't want to be that mobile phone right now, because after that celebration, just being slammed against the table, that's not the kind of place that I want to be.
And I feel like the momentum from the bottom of his heart is really, really high, because for him, there was pity last year, because last year was his first final game and he was playing against AG.
Yes.
And he didn't win anything. And again, he played with the AG in the Challenger Cup last year. He didn't win it again. So as he did in this interview, he said, if there is going to be one team that is going to end up AG's era, it's definitely going to be Wolves.
It has got to be Wolves, but let's wait and see. Right now, we are 1-1. Game 2 is part of history right now. Let's look forward to Game 3. Let's have a little break. When we come back, Game 3 is going to be with us. one more time. We are from the bird's nest. One more time. This is 1-1 right now. Chongqing Wolves come in and they're going to level things back. Now, right now is going to be AG's opportunity to pick sides. Clearly, they're going to have to pick the red side because that is just how the meta works. There's no discussion onto that. But as they go into the red side, what do you think is going to be Wolves' strategy for this game number 3?
Speaking to Wolves, I would say a more initiation can be seen on the side of Wolves. And one of those weapons that Wolves has is because the deep hero pool that they have for their side lanes. Because even though Sakura is very new to this team, and also he's new to this game, but throughout the year, his first year in KPL, he already used 18 different heroes. 18 different heroes.
18 different heroes.
As a new player.
Wow.
That's a lot, actually.
Can you imagine just being completely new to the top stage and then after that just using 18 different heroes? Wow.
That's a lot.
That is one of the beautiful things about the ecosystem here, right? Because when you analyze the way that these players come into KPL, it might be a little bit different to the way that players just make it to the global honor of kings, right?
Yes.
Like we have ecosystems in here with academies that are going to teach you, train you. The clubs have their own academies that they can just come in and give you all the experience that you need. That allows them to come in. And even though he's been with us only for 1 year, he's been preparing for this moment for such a long time, though.
I feel like he earned his position in Wolves, actually.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Played very well. And also, on the side of AG, they also have some nice composition. And as you can see, they chose the red side because they had a higher winning rate on the red side. And also, they are good at that cat boom pick as the mid because AG is one of the team relies a lot on their mid lane.
Cold evening right over here in Beijing. For everyone right now watching, this is the evening right now. I know that for all of our friends from Brazil that are watching right now our game, we have a lot of Hok Kpl fans right over there watching the KPL finals right now. It is the morning for you, for us. We're getting here and it's getting colder and colder and colder. But something that does not get cold and something that is still heating up is going to be our game number 3. The Heya is still over there in the vans. Master Lupin already being used by AG, so they're going to completely take that out. Same on the other side. It's going to be the same strategy for Wolves. Things that I've already used, I'm not going to give to the front.
Oh, and as we can see, main hero versus main hero. Wolves went for one main hero, the Sulie pick. Actually, one is known for this Sulie. His nickname is King of Sulie because
King of Sulie,
he got the most MVP among all the other Sulie players.
That's
in
cold.
the league,
That's
in
cold.
the history.
You're gonna love that, the King of Sulie. What can you do with that King of Sulie right over there? The answer is going to be the Flowborn tank and the Cat Boom. They've got initiation and they've got long-range damage as well.
Very solid one, actually, on the side of Wolves. And as we are looking at AG's composition, they're picking out the most popular duo that we have at this patch, and also the most OP one, Dolia with this Youngjin. Double, I would say like there's multi-double ulti that we can see on the side of AG.
Yes, because the Yanjin has been such a typical hero. At the beginning of this whole KPL 2025 Grand Finals, it was a very common pick. But then after that, as the teams started understanding how difficult it was just to control that, they just broke the system apart. They would either allow the Yanjin or they would either allow the Dolia. But right now, the Dolia and the Yanjin in there shows me, but just takes me back 1 month and a half ago when we were still in Chengdu.
That's true. And also Dolia is also Shy's main hero. They had a lot of composition built around Shy Dolia, and also we know that Shy, he made his debut last year, right? The spring season. And Dolia, he's the first one to use Dolia in the league, and also he's the first one to get MVP. Dolia is also his first MVP hero.
It's gotta have like such a deep feeling.
Yeah.
Such a deep connection.
Memories, connections, yes.
And I imagine that when you have that connection, it just feels different.
Yeah.
Things just flow.
That's
and
true.
he's gonna need things to flow right now. It's going to be the intro over there for the option for the mid laner. Very long range, a lot of poking damage coming in for that Jung as well.
I feel like both teams trying to prioritize their mid lane. As you can see, both Catboom and also this Jun is good at cleaning those waves. And if you have a faster speed to clean out the waves, means you have more opportunities to rotate faster than your enemy.
Aaron.
Aaron.
So that Aaron right over there. Why do you think that Aaron is being picked by AG? There's so many other marksman options in there. Why
Yes,
not Aaron?
they ban away 2 other heroes, and I feel like they predict Trike might use this console view, and Aaron is a really good counter attack towards console view.
We'll see. Well, on the other side, we have the Soviet Machao.
Oh!
Wow! When you look at Machao right now, like there's been so many different players that they have used Machao as their main hero.
Yes.
The one and only Fly, remember, just winning a final of KPL, using that hero, getting FMVP, getting his own skin. But that Machao right over there, when you look at Sakura, is he gonna stay with Wolf? Was after his Machao performance against DRG.
Yes, that was. I would say that was really good, amazing performance. Position relies a lot on Sakura's Machao because he's the only poking damage that we can see from both side lanes. Because Shoryue, you can't depend on Shoryue in the early game, right? Just let him play, just farm by himself. We shouldn't just put our eyes on this track. Instead, we are moving into the late game. But on the side of AG this time, they just kind of changed their composition, their strategy a little bit different because they built more initiation that we can see from this Fuzu pick.
The Futsu using his ultimate, the Sage's Smite, it's able just to control you, stun you, lock you onto the ground. You are unable to move forward, and that's going to be the place, the moment for Inuo. That's going to be the moment for Shung. That's going to be the moment for Zoe to come in and then completely annihilate you.
Yes, and I feel like this time Zoe will go to the mid lane more frequently because they are trying to move with this Jun, and after Jun upgrade to level 4, got his ulti, they can just choose one of the side lanes and use the ulti, do the pushing, and that is really like a comfortable strategy that AG had. They win against a lot of enemies by this kind of composition.
Let's wait and see what's gonna happen right over here. I am loving that. That's gonna be my quote for today. Let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see. When you look at the stadium right now, as the players are getting ready to start. When you look at the stadium, all these 60,000 people looking down straight into those 10 young men. What they can do with these heroes. All these strategies, you can just take that and toss it through the window. There's no strategies in here no more. The coaches know exactly what's going on. The players know exactly what's going on. It's gonna come down to who is better at the game and who is better at making those decisions. On one side, the Wolves, they have initiation, they have the Zulia, they have the flow war tank, and they can come in from the flank with the Machao. On the other side, it's going to depend over there what Zoe can do, unleashing the Hound, attacking, locking into someone. Can the Futsi help him out? And can Inuo be the beast that we know he's been in the past?
That's gonna be the question in Game 3, and right now 1-1 even match. So what we're gonna see for this game.
Let's take all of those questions into game number 3. The coach is ready. Wolves on the blue, AG on the red. What about people here? The 60,000 voices here in our stadium. Well, you heard them. They are ready. number 3 in this best of 7. The rotations are going to be extremely important. We have on one side one on the cat boom. He's going to have to be vital if we want to be able to get this composition from the blue side to get them going. Allowing multiple ultimates from all of his teammates.
Yes, and also I do want to highlight the synergy in this game between the mid lane and also the jungler, because that's the whole point in the early game. Who moves faster? Who clean up the jungles faster? Who's gonna gain the opportunity? Who's gonna win the upper hand, actually?
Wait and see what's going to happen right over there. You can already see the 3-man rotations coming in from both teams.
Yes.
It is going to be an extremely tough place for this Shoyue.
Yes,
we
for
know that
Track.
we know that Track Shoyue, like, he is very good with the accuracy. He's a sniper, so he can actually find the long range distance.
Yes.
Like, he can find the target. The problem is that as he is sitting there finding the target, he can be flanked very easily.
And also Track actually has the 100% winning rate by using the Shoyu, which is really, really rare in this kind of patch. But still, we can see a lot of pressure are made on the side of AG as Shen upgrade to level 4. That's what we're talking about. They need to move more frequently and let Shen to land his ulti upon their enemies.
One comes in on Conquerable Army, pushes Timo against the wall. He's going to be taken extremely low. First blood, one more time goes to wall.
Let's see, King of Sulit. That's what we're talking about.
Lovely. One comes from the flank on Conquerable Army, sends Inwo on air, and then it was just for his teammates to do what they had to do. Deal the damage, collect that first.
Movement that made by Wolves, which gained them the first blood, is because they predicted what's the next movement on the side of AG, because as we said, AG do need to rotate around this Shen, right? His ulti matters a lot, is critical, but Wolves, they just predict that, and once they see that all game, 3 of them just showed up on the top lane, they just make that snap engagement happen.
But I'm telling you something, it has been 3 games, all of them has been first blood for Wolves.
Yes.
Every single one of them has been first blood for Wolves, and that is telling you something about this whole game. Wolves are coming in so aggressive, trying their very best just to be dealing, just to take AG from the nose and pulling them in their direction.
Yes, and also the play style on the side of Wolves show that they are actually sharing the second most amount of first blood being taken in this tournament so far. They're good at taking first blood. Actually.
4 minutes mark, the Tyrant is already online. Punk does not even want him to let settle over there on the of Justice are going to clean that wave. Let's watch the replay one more time. Inwo, he comes in from the flank and then immediately just that pushed against the wall. At 3 against 1, nothing he could have done. It was really tough on Inwo. Where was Shuai at that moment?
He was rotating, trying to gain more vision control, but to be honest, when Dolia is against Zulia, yes, you can see Zulia will be tankier than Dolia.
Yeah. At this first stages of the game, that Dolia cannot take in a little too much damage.
Yes.
The
Again.
rotations one more time, they're going to trade turrets. The turrets over there for the farm lane and the clash lane are not going to be that vital right now in this stage of the game.
So
what is going to be vital is just the little camps of jungle that you can actually take away from your opponent. That's why Zoe just coming in, trying to keep eyes, can he snatch something out?
And I should say, Zoe is the only one that is already feeling his power spike in this specific moment. So Zoe, it just all depends on him whether this team can buy more time for
Let's wait. Neutral objectives were traded in there. The Overlord has not been a very popular pick over
Yes.
there in the first 10 minutes, right? Last time I was discussing with Sky in the previous matches, and it has been the matter of just how the Vanguards take away gold from you.
Yes.
Is that going to be bad news for AG in a game where it's going to be about pace?
Yes, but actually a small detail has been made in this patch is that 2 weeks ago that kind of strategy, that kind of thing has been cancelled. So actually the dragon won't eat your gold up when they're pushing forward.
Does that work in the patch that we are playing on right now for the final?
Yes, it's working. So it's kind of like a fair trade on the side of AG. More and more teams are actually more fun to get that dragon.
The more you live, the more you play. The more
Yeah.
you play, the more you learn. Thank you very much on that, Nora. All right, let's move back to the Gorge as we keep analyzing the game. On one side, Zoe was able to take out the red buff from the Wolves. So that's going to give him a little bit of an advantage. We can see him already widening the gap in between him and Pong. It is about 700 gold right now.
Yeah, 700 gold, and that allowing this OP Youngjin pick to do a lot of things. But the thing is that how bigger the gap can Zoe made? Can he use this kind of gold advantage, turn it into the team's advantage? That's gonna be the question.
Let's wait and see. He's going to need to do a little bit more on that side. Let's wait on that. Look at that. He's going to be targeted. 3 members of Considerable Army puts him on air. The Blades of Justice are trying to come in for the flag, trying to help him out. He's been taken
He's
really low.
surviving.
The Kitty Bombs come in, and it's going to be the Dahlia, the one that is going to fall. He survived, but Shuai is going to fall.
And the reason why Shuai fell is because he's trying to refresh the ulti for Zoe, trying to save him, but Shuai was sacrificed in this kind of team fight.
Well, his job is to be sacrificed right over there. That Dahlia's job is very simple. You come in, give me one more ulti, and if I get in trouble, get me out of jail.
But I mean, like, that's the problem for Ajituso right now, because the whole point about this composition is to pushing forward. But as we can see, both side lane, they're only making the tower trade, so it's definitely acceptable on the side of Wolves.
For Wolves, it's going to be a good trade, right?
Yeah.
For the other side, AG is going to have to try to do something about it. As time passes right now, and Zoe's power spike might not be what it is right now. Who's going to have to take the baton over there from this side of AG?
I would say Fuzi need to do some initiation, right? They definitely need to do some initiation. If Ren locked, whether Sakura or Track or Juan, each one of them, whether he's locked them up, the personal damage is totally enough for them to do an insta-kill.
There are so many just options for him to lock in, right?
But not Pound.
Anyone but Pong.
But Pound.
I'll send him a message and let him know.
Because the item that Pan is building right now, allowing him to absorb more magical damage that dealt by Shun, which is already beat in his power spike. So that's the problem. Ren need to look up any one of his enemies except Pan.
Let's wait and see. 9 minutes and 20 seconds. You can see one of the good things about having the Shoyue is that he can use his abilities to lift down the marks.
Yes.
And those marks are going to provide vision to all your team. He can just move those marks around and put them in the very difficult places. You can see one right over here in the blue buff. You can see one on the TP tunnel. And you can see one more right very close to the red buff area.
And with the help of one's pick, the Sule pick, allowing Wolves to get a full vision control right now.
Let's wait and see what's going to happen right over there with that. The red buff one more time is going to be for Zoe.
The cat pull!
Wow, can the snipe finish the deal? It's too far away.
It's too far away, but nice try by Juan. He's really active, to be honest, tonight. 10 minutes mark again.
10 minutes mark, they want to start this siren.
But he locked out.
Zoe comes in, he uses his ulti, he does not lock onto anyone. AG is right now a little bit too low. Look at that. Shun comes in from the flag, he's dealing so much damage. One is going to have to proc his passive to stay alive. Pang tanking in. He tries to get into someone, but no one is the target right now.
It's a skill trade. It's a skill trade, but allowing Wolf to have the chance to take this Tyrant. But AG, Zoe carrying double buff, he don't want let the Tyrant just slip away from their fingers.
We're gonna have to let that Tyrant go, and then it's gonna be Wolf the one that they make the decision to trade. Instead of just finding that Tyrant over there, let's go in for the Overlord.
But AG know that they're doing so. They're trying to force them back.
Flash comes
Do
in!
it!
The Conqueror Army comes in. He doesn't have his passive. He's gonna be an easy target. He's going to fall. That's gonna be the first kill over there going for AG.
Nice try by Ren. Comboed with his flash in and just bound one Sulin. Actually, I'm almost gonna criticize his first ulti around that camp because we mentioned about the least man he wants to bound is Pound. But this time with a flash, let's try.
Now there comes in, the flash comes, and it's going to be them trying to take vengeance onto him. Ran tries to run away, and right now he wants to come back. It's going to be AG coming in from behind. It's going to be Track, the one that is... 1 against 5. What can you do in there? Can you jump the all in? It's not going to be enough. The kitty bombs are going to chip away from HP, but Hang is going to be far away from survival.
Oh, what a decision. I would say it was quite bold. It's not an end. It's not end right now. I mean, I feel like Wolves, they're just being so scrappy, right? They're trying to make something happen upon Ran since his ulti was wasted, and they found a nice chance, but the problem is that the burst out damage is not enough, and that's the problem with Shouyue, this hero.
Yeah, the problem right now is that the Cat Boom, his kitty bombs right now are not that painful.
Yes.
He still needs a little bit more time for those kitty bombs to be really on. Right now, in this moment, the AoE coming in from him might not be that critical.
They bump to each other. Zoe passes, been triggered, Shen ulti, triggering, and also they're doubting amount of damage upon Wolves and forcing them to retreat. Still, we need to put Ran under the spotlight. The Foods is ulti. The pick, the target matters a lot.
Let's wait and see what is happening in there. AG kiting around, they come in.
Coming in.
Oh, he's going to find Kong. He's going to be the safest might. It's going to lock him in there. Kong, they're all in. He's taking too much damage. Coming in from 5 members from AG. Nothing he could have done in there. And now the turret is going to fall as well.
I mean, like Macho, he's trying to do a solo. He's trying to get a kill, but he only takes Ran down. He also sacrificed himself, so it's gonna be a 2-1 trade in favor of AG.
Machao coming in, trying to save a little bit of his glory. He tried to take on a 1v1. It was not useful enough. The minions are extremely healthy. The turret is going to easily fall. It's going to be only one more line of turrets on the Clash lane.
I mean, as we can see on the map, how long did it take on the side of AG to take Pound down, right? It cost like a century. I mean, like Pawn, he used himself's tankiness, actually buying a lot of time for his team. But the problem is that there's no setting for Track, right? With that low health, there's no more damage coming from the side of the Wolves.
So at the end of the day, like Punk is just tanking in so much of these damage for no reason.
Yes.
Like there's no reason right behind all of that more than just trying not to die so quickly.
Yes.
Well, this is bad news for them because right now the 4,000 gold advantage coming in from AG seems to be a little bit too lethal for them.
But Track having a really nice position. He's trying to target in at this Ran. Ran kiting a little bit more, and Eno with this red buff trying to chase them down. And Pan on the run, Sakura on the run. Everyone just retreat a little bit, but the minions are on their way in favor of AG.
The super minions are going to be an easy target over here. They're going to be a very tough test over here coming in for
They're
the
coming
Wolves.
back.
What
They're
can
coming
they
back.
do? Look at that. Sakura coming in from behind. He has eyes on the backtrack, but it's not going to be enough. One is going to fall. Right now, they're going to lose one of their shields. Sakura is on the run because he has nothing. That's going to be Tsuwan. Tsuwan can try to do some damage in there. It's going to be lethal. Nothing that he can do.
And the minions!
It's
The
a 2-0
minions!
trade.
The minions are already on their way. I would say this kind of decision is another bold choice made by Wolves because all gamer, they are ready to do the initiate, and also Chex's positioning, his ulti is devastating.
It is really hard right now. The blades of justice come in. The target is going to be tracked. Track being taken below. Super minions come in. They're already on the crystal. And then it's going to have to be the Wolves trying to clean the way with their life.
There's still minions surviving, but seeing Sulit come back to life, AG slow down a little bit more because they know that they already got the advantage for game 3. They're waiting for the next minions, and they're heading to the crystal.
They're heading to the crystal. They want this to be the last push.
Coming in.
This match coming in. It's going to be on to one. One cannot get out of there. He does have to pass it, but target was track. Track falls. The crystal's gonna follow. AG takes us 2-1 advantage for them.
Take their enemies down one by one with full of patience, with excellent execution. They won themselves another victory.
Congratulations to AG. It wasn't seemed to be a game for them. They came in, they took control of it, and it was too much for Wolves. They were unable to do anything against that Yajin and that Dahlia.
Yes, we mentioned about how OP it is in the current patch for Young Jin. Not been mentioned too, he's paired up with this Dahlia, right? The double ulti allowing Zoe to be so powerful in the mid game, and also Chex's position, his Jin, using his ulti, being so devastating. The reason why the damage is not enough coming from Wolf's composition is all because
trainers are always in low health, which was caused by Jin's ulti.
I think that since the Trunk just came into the meta right over here in this KPL 2025 Grand Finals, it has just been that. It's just been being at the back line, use your ulti, and then just immediately just force them in the direction that you want them to go.
Yes.
It's just that. It's not even a matter of you dealing so much damage that you can take the kill. It's just using that as just forcing them in the direction where your teammates are already expecting you to go.
Yes. And you can see like a great execution that AG has. We mentioned that the Dahlia composition is really, like, it's in their comfort zone, I would say. The third or fourth hero that they use to pair it up with the Dahlia. So I would say Dahlia is definitely